Hi friends, it's Katie Steinberg here, and a little late, but better late than never with this week's talk from Missing Piece. This week we did adult coloring together, and it's just an opportunity to find a little peace in the midst of what's been some really chaotic times. So I am looking forward to sharing that with you. Do want to let you know that this week coming up, we are going to be playing Ultimate Frisbee and finding a little joy once again. And in a couple of weeks, Sunday Soul Brunch is coming up, which is October 22nd at Orman Brewing Company. And we are raising funds and collecting items for United for Puerto Rico. So continuing to want to help and engage in that effort. And we have the Jam playing, which is going to be great music. And we have some great brunch put together, so make sure you get your tickets for that, and I'll look forward to seeing you there. But without further ado, here's this week's message from Missing Piece. Let's start with the story. There once were two sisters who had an unexpected visit from a very prestigious celebrity. One sister frantically prepared. She cooked, she cleaned, she poured the drinks on and on. The other sister kindly and gently greeted the guest and quietly listened as the guest talked about his journey, his wisdom, and his hope. The first sister quickly became frustrated and told the visitor that her sister ought to be helping her. But the prestigious guest said, "You're distracted and frantic and anxious. Isn't it better use of our time to spend it together?" This is my paraphrase, of course, but I totally resent this parable. Getting everything organized and making sure there's food and drink for everyone is important work, and it ought to be appreciated. The busy sister is working very hard, and that ought to be praised and rewarded, right? Our culture certainly tells us this anyway, and I've subscribed to it pretty heartily. We are measured by our productivity, efficiency, hard work. We are what we do, what we produce, and dare I confess, what others think of what we do and produce. Otherwise, we are lazy and subject to mom shaming or man shaming or whatever other kind of shaming that has somehow become acceptable in our highly connected world. The net result of this is that Americans are more anxious than ever. Fear, terror, and disaster occupy our headlines and news feeds more dominantly than anything else. And despite the best efforts of some, it seeps into our culture, our interactions, and what's socially acceptable. But some deeper part of us is whispering a deeper truth that it's not supposed to be this way. How are we going to care well for our loved ones, our community, and our world if we are in such a frenzied state of self-preservation and anxiety that we can barely think? How are we going to love our neighbors as ourselves if we're in a constant state of media/disaster/guilt/religiously induced anxiety? We're going to seek peace. We're going to stop being the sister that frantically prepares long enough to listen, long enough to hear the great wisdom that our friends, neighbors, children, and the world is whispering to us. We're going to make intentional time to quiet our culture and listen, focus, breathe, and be creative. Not for a grade, but for the sake of creativity and beauty. Last Sunday at Missing Piece, we did that by coloring together. It's an activity that engages both sides of the brain. It refocuses us on childhood frivolity. It engages us fully in a harmless, calming activity that actually reduces feelings of stress and anxiety, soothing the amygdala, which is responsible for fight or flight reactions, and reducing cortisol, the stress hormone. It increases focus and concentration and helps with problem solving and organization skills. So we colored, and we nurtured our spirit, our mind, and even our body. And I hope that you'll find some time to color. And as your picture comes to life at your own hand, may it also be a prayer of sorts, reminding you to stop and listen and putting beauty into the world. And when you're done, I encourage you to give your art to someone. It may feel a bit awkward, but I hope that you'll share the beautiful gift that you create. Amen. Well, thanks for tuning in for this week's message from Missing Piece. And as always, we want to invite you to join us in the flesh. The best way to find out how to do that is to subscribe to our text alerts by texting PEACE to 33222. And you're also welcome to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we also have a newsletter that you're welcome to sign up for. I also want to remind you one more time about our Sunday Soul Brunch that's supporting United for Puerto Rico on October 22nd, and you can get your tickets for that in advance online on our Facebook page or at ormondsmissingpiece.com. But until next time, grace and peace, my friends.